We have some game updates, some game delays, and a new Xbox controller has been leaked. So if you remember back at the 2021 Game Awards, they showed off a game that I thought looked very cool, a game that I was actually pretty excited to see more of, and that was Arc Raiders, coming from Embark Studios. And the head of that studio, Patrick Soderlund, who previously worked at DICE on Battlefield, have made an announcement that they're actually going to be releasing Arc Raiders now in 2023. This was a game that was supposed to be coming out in 2022, but they say here, yesterday we announced that we're delaying the release of Arc Raiders to next year, having previously said the game will be coming out in 2022. We understand if you're disappointed, you won't be getting your hands on Arc Raiders this year, and for that we apologize. And we take a quick look at this game. It's like a third-person action shooter taking on these just massive enemies in a world that I think looks really cool and graphically looks extremely stunning. And I'm hoping that this isn't one of those games where they show it off in the trailers in the first gameplay and then it comes out looking a lot worse than it did in the trailer. But from what we've seen so far, Arc Raiders look like it could be a pretty cool game to play. Hopefully it's one of those games that really surprises everybody and is something to look forward to in 2023. Now, that wasn't the only thing that they announced. The Embark Studio is actually working on several projects. They're actually working on another shooter called Project Discovery. And they say here, we've got a number of super talented people with ample FPS experience here at Embark, and the development of Project Discovery has progressed faster than we first imagined, especially over the past few months. So much so that we started facing the prospect of being able to release 2 games simultaneously. For a young, relatively small studio like ours, releasing 2 games in a short succession would have strained our teams and resources, many of which are shared between the 2 projects. So they've decided, because of that, they are going to be releasing Project Discovery first game to market from Embark Studios, which is going to be pushing Arc Raiders back to 2023. And we haven't really seen anything about this game. It is a first-person shooter. They did show off this quick 7-second clip, kind of giving you what the style of game it's going to be like, the graphic style, the environment. There's going to be melee, all that type of stuff. And I think, again, I really like the graphic style they're going with these games, so pretty interesting to see what this game is going to be all about. But this is going to be their first game that they release before Arc Raiders, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this Embark Studios, because like I said, everything we've seen so far looks promising. And the fact that they delayed Arc Raiders, which I'm sure disappointing people, there is that big positive that by doing that, they're going to be able to release this brand new first-person shooter in 2022 instead. And to think they're going to be able to get 2 games out from such a small studio with everything that's been going on within the industry, with all of the delays that are continuously going on. We are even seeing more delays as another big one got delayed. And this is Marvel's Midnight Sun. They put out the infamous Twitter post with the big posting there as a picture because there's too much to write in an actual tweet itself. And they have this to say: we have an important update to share regarding our launch date for Marvel's Midnight Suns. After discussion with the team, we've made the decision to move back the launch timing of Marvel's Midnight Suns to ensure we are delivering the best possible experience for our fans. We will launch later this fiscal year on Windows PC, Xbox Series XS, and PlayStation 5, with the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch versions following at a later date. And I think that's a really important thing there that they mentioned there, that I think is having huge effects across many different games, going all the way back to Cyberpunk 2077. The fact that some of these games are still trying to release on such old hardware with the Xbox One, the PS4, and even the Nintendo Switch, and optimizing games for that weaker hardware when you're building it for the Series X and the PlayStation 5 is probably causing a lot of these development studios tons of issues. We know with Cyberpunk, that was one of the main reasons why the game kept getting delayed. And then when they eventually released it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, it was just completely broken. So I would say that's the main reason why they're doing it. And they've even kind of admitted it here that they're going to be releasing them on those platforms later on than the current gen hardware, which I think is a good idea. I think studios, if they have to do that in order to get these games out onto the Series X and the PS5, delay the older versions until they're completely optimized rather than releasing it all at once, then having versions on the PS4 and the Xbox One that are completely broken. They finish it off here saying, we know fans are looking forward to playing Marvel's Midnight Suns, and we will use this extra time to make sure we are delivering the best possible experience for everyone. Marvel's Midnight Suns is easily the biggest game we've ever made, and we're incredibly appreciative of all the support players have shared with us throughout the years. Thank you from the Marvel's Midnight Suns team. It's disappointing thing because this is a very highly anticipated game. I'm really looking forward to this. But again, delays, as long as they come out with a good product, I think are generally a good thing. And 2022 has been an insane year for game delays. I mean, every game seemingly is now getting pushed into 2023. And I mean, it's not very surprising based off of the world and everything that has been going on with these studios. And just the fact that people have really had to adjust where they're making their games, how they're making their games. Things are starting to come back to normal, but this was all pretty much predicted by Phil Spencer back in 2020. He was off a little bit by the year, as 2021, I think, was better in terms of games coming out on time. But he said this back in 2020, saying, "Through the summer, early fall, I feel pretty good about those games. Games that we're targeting a year from now or beyond, there will be some impact, but they'll be able to react. If you had all your animation captured and you're doing touch up in more individual art production and in areas like textures and other things, you're in a better position. If you're waiting for a lot of either large audio work when it's with symphonies and other things or mocap, you'll be held up right now and you're making progress in areas that you are." And because of those things, the people that have to get stuff done, get stuff together with large groups that they couldn't over the last 2 years, games are starting to get delayed and they're starting to come out. And I think 2023 is going to be a year where we are going to have just an insane amount of games. Obviously, we are really feeling the impact of the pandemic from 2020 through 2021 right now in 2022, but hopefully going into 2023, all of this is going to be alleviated and all of these delayed games are actually going to meet their new delayed release date, and all the games that were scheduled for 2023 hopefully are going to meet their dates as well. Okay, jumping over here to a new Xbox controller that has seemingly been leaked. We previously saw that Xbox potentially is working on an Elite version 3 where they're going to be kind of redoing it and adding some new features to it, and that isn't the controller that has been leaked, but there is a new white edition of the Xbox Elite Series 2, as there was an unboxing that got posted, and it's the first time we're really seeing this controller out in the wild. So seemingly you can assume that this controller is going to be released to everybody around the world very, very soon, because this looks like it is the consumer version of this product, as they are opening it up here and they're taking it out of the box. And it's the exact same as the current Elite Series 2, but it comes in that really good looking white color that with the contrast of the black grips, I think looks absolutely incredible. I have the Halo Infinite Edition, which I think is the best looking controller out there, and also my favorite controller to date. But if you're looking for a white version of the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, make sure to keep your eyes open, because I'm guessing these are going to be releasing very, very soon. So a couple of weeks ago, we got some leaks and rumors surrounding Grand Theft Auto 6, the characters, the story, what Rockstar is kind of going for. And there was a lot of controversy around that. They announced that there was going to be a female protagonist in a Bonnie and Clyde style of game, where obviously there's also going to be a male protagonist as you're going to be playing as Bonnie or Clyde. And then they mentioned that they were going to not punch down with their jokes and everything. And there was a debate between both sides of people who were for or against this. And I've talked about this already. Grand Theft Auto 6, I don't really care at all about the female protagonist. I don't care Bonnie and Clyde. That actually sounds like it could be a very cool story. I just hope personally, going forward with Grand Theft Auto, they don't really censor themselves. They continue to be what they've always been, which is satirical, making fun of literally everybody and just creating a game in that way. People play Grand Theft Auto, they know that's what it's all about. And I think that if they're going to censor what they put into the game, it's going to hurt the game in general. But we'll have to wait and see if any of those rumors are correct, if any of the leaks actually come out and are true for what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. But Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two CEO, weighed in on Grand Theft Auto 6, and he said that it's going to set creative benchmarks for the series, our industry, and for all entertainment, and that it is well underway in terms of its development. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is deep in development. And when it comes to Grand Theft Auto setting benchmarks, I would say that every single time a Grand Theft Auto game releases, it really does that. It's the game that everybody looks at, the industry looks at, as like the bar of the best games, the best looking games, the best playing games, the biggest, the most well done open world style of video games out there. Grand Theft Auto is absolutely incredible. It's an incredible feat that they're able to create these games all the time and just have such high standards for the release. Now, we know Grand Theft Auto 5 is still doing very, very well in the latest NPD results. They say here, sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 also remain strong, and to date, the title has sold in nearly 170 million units, with development of the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series well underway. The Rockstar Games team is determined to once again set creative benchmarks for the series, our industry, and for all entertainment, just as the label has done with every one of their frontline releases. So who knows when this game is going to be coming out, but what we have heard again from analysts and from leaks is that it could be happening during the 2024 fiscal year, which would suggest that it releases in late 2023 or early 2024. But I mean, if it released in 2025, I could also see that happening, just because of how well Grand Theft Auto 5 is still doing, how much money they're making with their Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, they're going to continue to try to rake in that cash as long as they can until the sales start to drop off, and then they'll release Grand Theft Auto 6 to kind of replenish it and get the crowd out there. But Grand Theft Auto 6, this is going to be one that everyone has their eye on. I'm really excited to see exactly what the game is all about, if these rumors were true, because I think right now with the leaks and the rumors, the pressure on them is higher than it's ever been. They need to deliver with Grand Theft Auto 6. When you are the benchmark of the industry, you can't really afford missing even just a little bit, because people are going to scrutinize it more than ever. And that's exactly what's going to happen with GTA 6. So I am very excited to see what they're going to pull out with GTA 6, and if these leaks and rumors that we've heard about it are true. That's it for me, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the delays, Embark Studios games that are coming, plus Arc Raiders being pushed to 2023, Grand Theft Auto 6, and that leaked Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.